What is going on, my fit fam? We'll give it a second, let everyone pop on in, make sure everything is good to go. But what is up, everyone? I hope everyone had a fantastic freaking weekend. We did a little live stream over on the TikTok. If you guys didn't see that on Friday, we just did some fishing, nothing crazy. I went out fishing on Friday. It was a good day. And so I told you guys, Fridays are a little bit up in the air. They're a little bit up in the air, so I don't know about live streams on Fridays, but Monday and Wednesday, absolutely. Ain't missing that. Need to shave this mustache, bro. It's starting to get out of hand for realsies. Anyways, let's jump into today's subject. So last time we talked a lot about the other variables of the Chigel equation. And you guys have been, I've actually had a few of you guys hit me up about where to get the Chigel equation. I'm going to set it up here soon to where you guys can just look at the links in my stuff. I don't know why I haven't done that yet. It's just been a lot of crazy different stuff going on, as always. But that being said, I will get a link to you guys for in the future where it will just be on my page. But if you want to go ahead and look for it, go on Amazon, type in the Chigel equation. It should pop right on up. So go check it out. But that being said, the last few different live streams we were talking about. Here, let me adjust this really quick. Come on now. There we go. That looks better. But the last week we talked a lot about the different, variables of the Chigel equation, right? We have energy, we have, which is what we're talking about today. We have the adaptation, which is what we're trying to get to. We have resonance, and then we have constraint. And last week we spent a lot of time on constraint and resonance. Today we're talking about energy, because obviously you can't get any kind of work done without energy. So it's one of the main laws of thermodynamics. We know this. You have to get anything done, it requires energy, right? But I think for a lot of people, they don't realize like how to manage energy. I think for a lot of people out there, especially when it comes down to like fitness stuff, a lot of people are trying to figure out how to get more energy instead of learning how to use their energy efficiently, right? Because here's a great example, guys. Like if you're in a calorie deficit, you are by default already on a lower energy scale than everyone else, right? Because that's a unit of energy. And that's what I mean, guys. When we talk about this equation, remember, it's domain specific. This equation works on just about anything you apply it to, but you have to use the right domains, the right metrics for the domain, right? In fitness, it's very evident the energy system here is going to be calories. Calories are a unit of energy. I feel like a lot of people forget that because they hit that. People just throw around the word, calories. But that's what calories are. Calories can literally be converted into joules if you use the math right? Or kilojoules or watts or whatever you want to use for energy and whatever metric you want to use. Calories fit into that role. It is a unit of energy, okay? If you are in a calorie deficit, you are by default going to be lower on energy than most people. If you do not set your fat loss game plan up with that, then you are going to run out of energy and you're going to burn out. There's a lot of you guys struggling with burnout and you don't know why you're burning out. I'm going to tell you exactly why you're burning out in today's live stream. So perk your ears up because this is where a lot of you guys are really struggling. But the big key points I wanted to go over right off the bat, you don't need more hustle, okay? You don't need to work harder. You need to use your energy smarter, right? Or you need to learn how to optimize your energy. And a great point for this, guys, we all only have 24 hours in a day. There is nothing you can do to give you more hours in a day, right? So we all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's about how you is part of that scale, right? You can only get so much done in 24 hours. And only one person can get so much done in 24 hours. You can't just keep pushing, expecting that to just be not a foundation. Right? That's something we'll go over as well. But energy is the amplifier of all inputs, but it can't fix a bad signal. Okay? We'll get into that. But what is energy according to the Chigel equation? Again, the Chigel equation is adaptation equals resonance time constraint divided by energy, right? Energy is the main backbone of this. Energy is what causes the reaction to take place in the first place. Again, that is the law of thermodynamics. You have to have energy to get anything done. Nothing gets done without energy. It just does not happen, okay? Energy is the fuel you burn. Time, right? Like I said, you cannot make yourself have more than 24 hours in a day. It's impossible, We all only have 24 hours in a day, right? Time, calories. We just went over calories, right? Emotional energy. We'll go over that one in a second. A lot of you guys are getting fucked up there. We need to make sure you're not getting fucked up there. Attention, your attention span. How much are you scrolling throughout the day instead of doing what needs to get done? That's a big one. And effort, overall effort. And this is probably what you're thinking about when we think about getting more energy is how can I put in more effort? Well, it's not about necessarily getting more energy. It's about optimization, right? High energy with low R or C equals wasted energy. So what this means is that if you have a lot of energy, right? You have a lot of energy to do something, but your resonance is low, right? That means you don't really care about the goal that needs to get done. Let's say, the goal is to, get really, really, really freaking fit, but you really don't care because you've never had a reason to get really, really fit. There's nothing in your life that you've ever wanted that really requires you to get really, really fit. You may have a ton of energy, but if you don't give a damn, you're not going to show up. Low R equals wasted energy because there's nothing to do with the energy. It's just sitting there. You have nowhere to put it, right? This is wasted time. Or if the constraints are too low, if things are too easy, let's say you do want to, again, these go based off each other. Let's say you do want to, burn a lot of fat off. You want to burn calories. You have super high R, right? If you have that want, I really want to lose body fat, high R, right? And you have high energy, but you don't have enough constraint, right? Let's say this is someone who goes to the gym, but they only go a couple times throughout the week. They don't add in more constraint, right? Or they don't train hard enough. They just use the same weight every single time they go to the gym. They expect that to gain them muscle. That's exactly the same. You're putting in something that's going to get you in the same place. Guys, this is the equation for literally how to spin in circles with your results, how to not get where you want to go, how to plateau. This is exactly the equation for that. So if you want to avoid that, be very aware. That means you have high energy and you have very low R or very low C, which neither are great. You need every one of these need to be on the same, they need to be on the same level relatively if you want to get success, if you want to be successful, right? An analogy, again, is to help you guys understand this. Stepping on the gas in the wrong direction still gets you lost, right? Like going faster, putting in more energy, it does not matter if you're not going the direction you go. I always tell people this analogy too, but if we are playing a game of darts, right? And I don't have a dartboard, what the hell am I throwing at? What are we doing, right? How are we playing darts without a dartboard? You have to have a goal, right? An R, something to resonate with to actually go there, right? But without this stuff, you're just going to be spinning in wheels and not knowing what you're doing. Different types of energy depending on the domain. And physical stuff, we're talking about, if we're talking about physical energy, like actual energy, when we're talking about thermodynamics, for example, this is going to be stuff like calories. If we're taking stuff outside of the fitness realm, this is going to also be stuff along the lines of literally watts or electricity, kilojoules, that kind of thing. But also sleep, if we're looking at more of a psychological realm, how much sleep you get per night, right, is going to directly affect how well your training is going to be, right? Are you taking stimulants? Crappy energy, right? And again, stimulants aren't all bad. We'll go over this later in this live stream. But are you just running off of stimulants because your sleep is really bad? Or are you taking stimulants in conjunction with your fitness goals? There's a difference here. A lot of you guys are just popping caffeine because you can't hardly stay awake. And it's also mainly because you're not drinking any water. So you're super dehydrated. You're not getting a lot of oxygen to your brain because how does your body get oxygen to the brain? Freaking water. The blood that has the oxygen has to get to your brain some way. That's water. Some of you guys don't realize that, and you wonder why you're only drinking 16 ounces of water a day and why you have a headache or why you have brain fog or why you can't seem to remember anything. That's why. Anyways, I'll move on. And you're just running completely off of stimulants, right? There's so many people that are doing this. Don't do that. It's not that coffee's bad. It's that you're dehydrated and you're relying only on stimulants. Again, bad energy. We'll go over toxic energy here in a little bit. Mental. This is going to be stuff like attention span, how much you're able to focus, how much willpower you have, right? How much are you scrolling? How easy is it for you to stop scrolling when you say, okay, I got to get going where I need to get going, right? Or here's the big one that's going to knock a bunch of you off your fucking pants. How many of you guys are able to put the fucking phone down when it's bedtime and not scroll anymore? How many of you? I don't feel like it's a lot. That's a problem. That's an energy leak. We're going to go over that here in a minute as well. Let's go over emotional stuff, right? Types of different energy that you put out into emotions like rage, joy, grief, desire, all these things that are energy leaks if you don't use them correctly. Again, we'll go over what energy leaks are in a minute because, again, this is all about how we optimize your energy instead of trying to gain more and more and more like it's going to happen. Behavioral, routines, habits, automating things. This one's going to be big for helping you guys with energy leaks. We're going to come back to that. But why energy alone isn't enough is this is the big thing. You'll see all online about like hustle culture, right? Like they're trying to do more. And guys, there's a part of that you guys aren't seeing. I'm not saying that's all lies. I'm saying there is a lie there with a lot of the message that's there. And that's simply because you guys aren't seeing everything these people are seeing. Or rather, you aren't seeing everything these people are doing. Right? Like, yes, of course, they're probably working their asses off. They're also spending a lot of time on making sure they're recovering correctly. And again, guys, when it comes down to energy leaks, it means applying constraints so that you don't keep leaking energy, like going to bed on time, right? Like making sure you're drinking enough water so that you have plenty of oxygen running throughout your entire body. Like making sure you're tracking your calories so that you one, have enough energy, or two, that you don't have too much energy so it's stored as fat. You guys see what I'm saying here? Like there are a lot of things when it comes down to the hustle culture where it's just like do more. It's not just about doing more. It's about managing. You got to manage this the right way. Doing more is a big part of the problem. There's a lot of people who aren't doing enough, but there are a lot of people who are doing too much and they're struggling. It's not because they need to do more things. It's because they need to manage what they're doing. They need to manage their energy levels better, right? Energy must be guided by resonance and constraint. It doesn't need to just run around willy-nilly, right? If you're noticing that you feel really tired on some days, or some days you feel super anxious because you just have so much extra energy in you and it's not concurrent, it seems to be all over the place, there's something going on here and your body's trying to tell you and you're not listening. Okay, we got to make, and what it's trying to tell you is that your resonance and your constraint are off. Okay, guys, again, I'll say this again because a lot of you guys don't get this. You can't gain more energy out of nowhere. Remember, if you are in a calorie deficit, you are by default at a deficit of energy. This is already low. Doing literally like 7 days a week of workouts twice a day is not working harder and smarter. It's working harder and getting nowhere. That's what I mean. It's not about just going boom, boom, boom. It's about optimizing, making sure you're doing the right things, right? This is the thing that a lot of people don't get down. I see all these people online who are like, they're big ego lifters. They're all about lifting weights and going to the gym, but they can't even have the discipline to make themselves go to bed on time. They can't even have the discipline to make themselves not drink 4 out of the 7 days of the week. Drink alcohol, that is, right? Like, this is what discipline's all about. It's not about doing more. It's about making sure you are managing the right things and making sure you're doing those things. It's not about doing more. It might be about doing less, right? Discipline, as much as it is about going to the gym, it's also about leaving the gym when it's time to fucking leave instead of sitting there doing hours of cardio for no reason. You're doing all that cardio because it makes you emotionally feel good, but it's not helping you. You're doing it out of emotion, not out of logic. You guys see what I'm saying here? That's huge. Rob, thank you for the dono. I appreciate that. But this is what I'm getting at because there's so many people doing this. And guys, remember, you do not just, you only have so much energy. It's not about making your body have more energy. Now, that is a case for some people. Like, for example, if you're not drinking enough water, drinking more water will give you more energy. right? Because again, we just talked about how that's going to help you get more like oxygen to the rest of your body. Or like, again, if you've been in a calorie deficit forever and you're not even trying to lose any more weight, but you're just still just used to eating the amount of calories you've been eating, it's time to increase your calories to get you some more energy. Or maybe you've been undersleeping like crazy, only getting 4 to 5 hours a night of sleep. Okay, now it's time to make sure that we're getting 6 to 7 hours or 7 to 8 hours a night of sleep so we can have more energy, right? But again, at some point, that's still capped for everyone as a human being. At the end of the day, it's not about gaining more energy. It's about managing your energy effectively, okay? We need to be on the lookout for energy leaks. But here's some real world examples. Again, training hard in the gym on random routines equals exhaustion with no progress. There are so many of you guys that get stuck in a plateau and you desperately want these results, but you're just simply you're not doing the right things. You're running off of emotion. You're doing hard workouts because you think it's going to because it makes you feel good, not because it's actually going to get you anywhere. There is a difference, guys. You got to make sure when we're talking about being disciplined, going to the gym does not make you a disciplined individual. It doesn't. Anyone and their mother can show up to the gym. In fact, I've trained mothers that just go to the fucking gym, right? Going to the gym does not make you a disciplined motherfucker. Going to the gym and sticking to the program makes you a disciplined motherfucker. There is a difference. There are plenty of people that have been going to the gym for years and gotten nowhere. Trust me, I've worked in the gym for years. I see those people all the time. I still see them all the time. Still go to a gym. I still see these people, right? They get nowhere because they're doing the same things. They're not focusing on doing the right things, right? They're doing the next fad. They're doing the next thing they see on TikTok or Instagram. They're doing the next fad diet. That's what's getting them in trouble. They're just not being disciplined. They think that just because you show up makes you disciplined. No, guys, I can show up to school. It doesn't make me a disciplined student. I still got C's, okay? Like, come on. Be very real here. This is the most honest thing you'll ever fucking do in your life. You got to be so honest. You have to be. I mean, listen, a lot of this stuff I may say may hurt some people's feelings, right? But I'm not saying it to be mean. I'm saying it because if you don't hear this and you keep ignoring this and you keep ignoring living in ignorance like this, it's going to bite you in the butt. You're not going to know what the hell happened. I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen. As long as you watch my content, I will make sure that doesn't fucking happen. Not on my watch. Now, toxic versus high leverage energy. This is what I'm talking about here. Stuff that's like fueled by caffeine because you didn't get enough sleep last night or you're not drinking enough water. You're going to the gym because you freaking hate yourself. This was me. Listen, don't think you're freaking edgy or special because this is you. Listen, this is a lot of people. There's a whole subsection of people on the internet that this is you. Listen, stop being an edgy little punk. Get over it, learn how to love yourself, and keep moving forward. This is not helping you get anywhere. I get the self-hate. The self-hate helps get you in the gym. It's not going to keep you in there for a lifetime. You're going to have to learn how to evolve, fam. That's huge. My 2006 Mustang convertible engine went out, and it's $10K to fix. Well, listen, bro, you probably need to go hit up a mechanic. That's not me. I don't know what you're doing here. But I appreciate the comment. High leverage energy. Sorry, that's a random comment. High leverage energy is going to be the stuff. This is where discipline comes into play. You're focused. You're doing things because it is what you're supposed to be doing, not because you're just trying to get things done erratically, right? You're aligned with your goals. You're well rested. You got 8 hours of sleep last night. Maybe you got 9 because you went to bed on time, right? You're emotionally invested. Like, you care about the goal you're going for. You actually give a damn. It's not like a coach has to show up for you every single time and be like, hey, do you want this? Do you want this? Like, no, dude, you fucking want this, right? Make sure. Now, that being said, this is where we're going to talk about energy leaks, right? Energy leaks are fucking huge. If we don't pay attention to this kind of stuff, we're going to end up just leaking energy everywhere and you're not going to get anywhere. So we got to make sure that we are paying attention to stuff. So decision fatigue is something I bring up quite often. I've done some live streams for my clients on this topic. Decision fatigue is probably one of the bigger things you guys are doing that's making you fuck up. Okay. What's going on here is that, guys, when you are not following a program and you're just going to the fucking gym, doing willy-nilly, doing whatever the fuck you want to do, then that's going to keep you completely having to make decisions left after right. Like, you are not going to have the time to just follow and automate the process. That's the difference. Here's a great example. There's so many of you fucking people that hit me up and you're like, dude, I hate eating the same meal every day. Can you give me some ideas so I can spice it up, so I can add some variety to my diet? No, that's the problem. You keep adding variety, and it's making you have to make a decision every single time, and that's why you have decision fatigue. You need to learn how to eat the same 1 to 2 meals for lunch, dude, and get over it. You're not eating these meals to just think they're the best meals in the world. You're eating these meals to get results. Why do I take medicine? Because I like the taste of it? You're crazy. Cough medicine tastes like ass, but I still take it because I want a result. You guys see what I'm saying? There's so many people I see talking about, oh, I hate the taste of protein bars. I hate the taste of protein shakes. Of course, compared to a milkshake, guys, what are we doing? Like, what are you comparing? Of course it doesn't taste as good as fucking death. As actually something that's keeping you so addicted it leads you to death. It does that for 400,000 people a year. Of course it's not going to taste as good as something that's literally addictive. Why are you even putting that in your brain? This is what I mean. We've got to reduce this kind of stuff because you're sitting here saying, well, I want to do this. I want to do that. Guys, that's just spoiled brat talk. That's what that is. You're spoiled brat talking. You're going, oh, well, I wish things were this way. I wish things were that way. Well, I don't want to eat potatoes for dinner. I want candy. Shut up. Listen, it's not that I don't empathize with that feeling. I feel that way sometimes too. But it gets you nowhere. Stop complaining. Complaining does nothing but keep you in the same spot. If you want to do that, keep doing it. Great, good for you. I would unadd me because I'm going to call you out every time you do that. I will call you out day after day after day if I have to, because that's just going to get you in trouble. And I'm not going to be the guy that's going to sit here and act like that's okay. That's ignorance. That's just straight up ignorance. Guys, you got to take decision out. This is how you automate the fat loss and fitness process in general, including building muscle. You got to take out decision fatigue because you're spending too much of this energy and linking this energy, figuring out what the hell you're doing for the day. Half of this is you guys going to the gym without a game plan. You're going in, again, this is the exact people I'm talking about have zero discipline. They just show up to the gym and they think just because they show up to the gym that they're a disciplined individual. No. Again, I could show up wherever. And it means nothing whether or not I'm disciplined. I can go to the park every day. Does that mean make me a disciplined individual? No. You're going in there with that expectation. And again, if this is something new you're doing and going to the gym every day is something that's new, you're doing something called progressive overload that is efficient, right? But at some point, you are going to get to the point where it's like, what am I working on today? Oh, I don't feel like hitting this today. Oh, my shoulders are kind of tired. Maybe we'll skip shoulder. You got decision fatigue. And for one, guys, you should not be basing what you do based off of how you feel. You should be doing it based off of what the program relies on and what evidence suggests. Because again, you're just basing things off emotion. Basing things off emotion and being disciplined are not the same fucking thing. You got to get that down. Get that down pat. And a lot of this has to do with decision fatigue. A lot of you guys don't want to have to do the same thing all the time. And so you want to split it all up. But guys, there is not going to be these freaking star athletes you see doing these sports that have these people on Instagram that have these bodies that you want that aren't doing this. They're eating the same stuff just about every day, or they have some crazy person cooking it for them. Right? And a lot of you guys don't have the money for a personal chef. I'm not stupid. Okay, the big problem here is that you keep trying to make a decision every 20 minutes instead of just acting it out. And that's how you automate the process. Think about how much time you spend thinking up what workout you're going to do today. Thinking up like what you're going to eat for lunch today. And then you end up going, oh, you know what? I'm just going to go to McDonald's anyways. And you end up just getting fast food instead of just eating the meal prep food that you made. Stop giving yourself a choice out. That's the problem. That's why you're not sticking to the fucking diet. It's because you're doing too much. You're adding too much variety. You're giving yourself too many options. And because you're giving yourself too many options, you can't make a decision. That's decision fatigue. That's energy leaks. And that's why you're burning out. That's a major reason for people burning out. Because they are just making too many decisions all the time. And it's overwhelming. And guys, I'll say this, I said this already. You are already in a deficit. If you're tracking calories, and you're in a calorie deficit, you are already in an energy deficit. This only makes the process 10 times harder for you. Stop adding all this variety. You're not going to get anywhere. Anyone who tells you any different probably doesn't have the best results, so I wouldn't listen to them, okay? So that being said, again, same thing goes for this stuff. Train focus like a muscle, right? There's a lot of people who aren't even trying to focus on this. A prime example, and we'll talk about this with the tracking the energy leaks, These fucking apps, guys, you're not training any focus with these apps. A lot of you guys probably have been scrolling for a while, and my live stream just popped up for you. And you probably just now realize, damn, I've been scrolling for like 30 minutes, an hour. Some of you have been scrolling for 3 fucking hours, maybe longer, and you're still sitting there scrolling. Stop. This is what I mean. You're putting your energy into something that's not fucking serving you. It's just entertaining you. And it's not even helping. Like, it's one of those things, guys, that, like, how much are you going to fucking beg and whine for results and not put in any input to get an output? It's ridiculous. It's the exact reason why you don't get results. It's because you're just, again, this is the spoiled kid route. You're going, oh, I just wish this was the case. I don't want to do anything for it. And you're watching all these people online have these results thinking that they're living the same life as you. Guys, they're fucking, if you lived in a day in their life, you'd probably pass out because you couldn't take it. You would be astonished at how intense their life seems to yours, because it quite simply is the case that they take it more serious. And this goes into a resonance issue. But that being said, guys, when we're talking about making sure that we are maintaining and keeping our energy efficient, it is about discipline. It's not about doing more. It's about discipline. Go to sleep on time. Drink your fucking water intake. Make sure you're actually prioritizing recovery, right? How many of you guys got a yoga day planned in your workout week? I know for a fact, based off the number of phone calls I've had over the years, it's probably 10% of the people watching this right now. Most of you guys don't even stretch during your workouts. And you're wondering, oh man, my elbow, my shoulders hurt. Maybe I should skip the gym today. No, you need to get your ass in the gym and go stretch. That's what I would tell you. Stop looking for ways out. It's not helping. We need to learn how to be efficient and not be looking for the way out or to conserve energy. Because you can't conserve energy. You got to use it up. If you don't use this energy up, what's going to end up happening, guys, is if you struggle with anxiety, that's a huge one. If you struggle with anxiety, you have pent up energy that needs to come the fuck out of your body. You need to work out. You need to go let that energy out. You need to go run and do some fucking sprints. Yeah, I promise you, you will not feel the same after that. Right? You want to talk about anxiety, try getting on a treadmill at a 6 mile per hour stunt and just keep going. Right? That's anxiety. Because if you don't keep stepping the way you're supposed to step, you're going to trip and fall and hurt your face. Like, this is what I mean. Like, people do not put these things in the same shoes. They try and separate all this stuff, which is the whole reason I made this book. I'm trying to bring it all back together. But when you separate this stuff, this is the kind of problems you get, guys. You get burnout. We got to make sure that we're staying on track with this. Now, again, tracking energy leaks are going to be huge. So the way we track this, because again, guys, this is not about giving you more energy. This is about making sure you manage your energy the right way. Track your energy leaks. Who are the people you're hanging out with that just drain the fuck out of you? That are just emotionally draining. That, like, you get done hanging out with them and you feel exhausted. You don't even feel like you hung out with somebody to, like, deload or de-stress. You felt like you actually took on a burden. Get those people the fuck out of your life. As much as you may love them, you got to start separating yourself because you got to focus on you, or else they're going to drag you down with them, and then you're not going to help them at all. The best way you can help somebody is by lifting them up, by leading as an example, not by letting them drag you down with them. Okay? You got to set boundaries. That's number one. Number two, very much, guys, every single one of you guys can do this right now. Go into your phone, go into the app, whatever app you're watching this on, see how much time per day you guys are spending on these apps and start trying to work on that. Start getting this down. Most of you guys, and this is just the day's problem, especially here in America, are spending most of your time on apps. You're spending most of your time on TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, YouTube Shorts, and you're not engaging with the world. You're not getting work done. You're not following your dreams. You're not chasing your goals. And that's where your energy is going. Guys, I guarantee you just take an hour out of that and you'll get a lot of that back. Because I've seen some of these, like how much you guys are spending time on this. Like some of you guys are spending 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day on this. I don't even know how you're doing that. You literally must be on your phone at work. There's no other way you could get that high. But I know that's the case, right? So we have to start managing this because it's taking away your energy. It's taking away one of the resources that you really need, especially if you're in a calorie deficit. You have to manage this. And also keep track of your thoughts. Guys, this one's big. Journal. Journaling's huge. I recommend journaling for just about fucking everybody. And again, it's not like you have to be super, super advanced with your journaling. Just keep in mind with how you're feeling. Keep up to date. You know, something I'll actually do is I actually use ChatGPT for this. I have a log with ChatGPT that is my mental log, and I'll just talk to it about how I've been doing throughout the day, or if I'm struggling with this. Like the other day, I woke up just in a high anxiety state. So I talked it out, and I put all these words out and made it a real feeling so I can learn how to manage that rather than ignoring it and just letting it be rampant throughout the day. That's the kind of stuff that's going to make you stress out and binge eat on shit you don't need to be eating. That's the kind of shit that's going to make you stress out and skip the gym because you feel like you need a mental health day. Stop it. Stop. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about, guys. We are just ignoring stuff. You're not doing the right things. You're looking for an escape. You're looking for a way out so you don't have to do the hard work. You don't have to be disciplined. You're looking for a way that feels good. You're staying on your phone at night looking at TikToks instead of prioritizing sleep because it feels good. Stop it. That's not the right thing to do. That's huge. Cryptid said averaging 20 hours a week on here. That's better than some people. That's a lot. I mean, think about that. 20 hours a week. A lot of people work 40 hours in a week. That's a lot. That's what I mean, guys. Listen, imagine we just took that down to 15 hours. That's 5 extra hours a week. That means you could do an extra workout, 1 hour workout a day, 5 days out of the week. Imagine how much progress you would get out of that in 3 months. Do you see what I mean? But yet a lot of people say the excuse, I don't have the time. I don't have the time. Well, there's your time right there, buddy. Right? I'm not calling you out. Thank you for actually commenting that. But that being said, it's just a great example, right? Like, this is the stuff you guys got to be super aware of it, because here's the thing that I know this because I'm in this field, right? I'm going to give you guys a little lesson on how social media works. They are fighting tooth and nail for your attention. They are trying to keep you addicted to scrolling. They're trying tooth and nail because that means they can spend more ad money on them. That means they make more. For every view they get, they make more money. So they're going to try tooth and nail to make things super engaging, keep you super involved. And guys, I'm going to be really honest with you. Most of this is the polarizing content you see. If you see something online, then you're like, why am I seeing this? I don't agree with this at all. The timeline put it on there for you to react to. Your algorithm knows you don't agree with that. So it sent it to you, so hopefully it gets a comment out of you, or maybe it gets a reaction out of you, or maybe it gets more watch time out of you because you keep rewatching it, trying to prove it, you in the comment section, fighting back with people. Yeah, that's what's happening. Like, you think you're fighting something when in reality, that system's just growing off of you. You're not getting anything done. That's why hate comments never work, guys, by the way. Anyone who's ever left me a hate comment, I wanted to just go ahead and say thank you for engaging with my content and helping boost my stuff, because I'm trying to make you mad. Like, I'm literally trying to get a reaction out of you. For me, the reason I'm doing it is because there's only 2 reactions that's going to come from that. If I get a reaction out of you, either you're going to get really pissed off and you're going to throw some hate at me. In that case, I don't give a shit, because what I'm trying to do is help people. Or 2, it's going to make you feel a certain type of way, but also make you go, yeah, you know what? He's right. Because everything I say is based off of my own truth. It's not like I'm saying shit that I don't believe in. It's not like I'm saying shit that I don't feel authentically that way. I just say it in a way that's polarizing to grab y'all's attention, right? What you need to understand is that every company out there right now on social media is trying to do the same thing. Every content creator out there is trying to do the same thing. Some of them just don't realize that, but I promise you, every brand is trying to do that. And if you aren't aware of that, they're going to greatly affect your sleep, and they're greatly going to affect how much time you spend on apps, which is greatly going to affect how much time you can put into your own health and fitness. So we got to pay attention to it, or it's just going to run you rampant. It's going to run you through the field, and you're not going to know what the hell hit you, and you're not going to know how to manage it. This equation tells you how to manage it. I'm telling you right now how to manage it. You just got to start applying this stuff. But guys, the biggest thing here is, for one, if you're struggling with this kind of stuff, hit me up so I can help you personally, because obviously this is a case-by-case basis. Everyone's all on different things. We've already gone over adaptation, so this won't be on the next one. I actually got a few different ideas for the next one, so I'll keep you guys up to date and posted on that. But just understand, you're not tired, you're being inefficient. This is the key point. You're not tired, you're just being inefficient. You're not doing these efficiently. So how can we tweak things? How can we manage things so that you feel like you have more energy? What about a good morning routine? What about a good night routine to help you get ready for bed? Right? What about making sure we hit plenty of hit our water intake so we don't feel like we're dying in the middle of the night? Right? Or even those three are great ones. Those would be the main ones I would start with. But setting a bedtime, like limiting your time on social media, setting boundaries with the people that are honestly draining you from energy, even if that's loved ones, guys, it doesn't matter. You don't help them by draining more energy away. You got to understand that you have to be your own person. You have to be an individual, not codependent on being around other people. That's a whole different live stream for a different day. But that's all I got for you guys today. The next one, I'm not sure what we're going to be talking about yet. There's a bunch of different directions I can go from this point since now that we've gotten all the variables out there. But it's going to be some saucy stuff, so I'll keep you guys posted. But I'll see you guys then. Peace out. Have a wonderful